Hi, I'm Cheryl Marks Young. Welcome back to our series on hopium, part 3, actually curing the hopium epidemic. Today, I want to speak to you about another area where we see the hopium epidemic present in businesses. And for those of you that are just following this for the first time, just picking this up, the hopium epidemic is about leaders who create situations in their business where they hope they're going to meet the revenue goals. They hope the clients are going to step forward. They put plans in place without really planning. And so living on hope. So using what I have playfully started to call implementing the hopium drug and the hopium epidemic. I'm here to help you cure that hopium epidemic and create real results, real lasting results in your business. I work with individuals and I also run Vistage groups. So you're going to hear some references to conversations that I've had with people about these topics. So today's specific topic on curing the hopium epidemic is a question for you. Are you running your business or are you leading your business? And let's talk about that. If you're running your business, a lot of senior executives, CEOs, business owners build their business to counter or escape from what they didn't like when they were working in someone else's business or working for someone else. So you join a new company as a senior executive. You take that framework as you will. So if you're running your business, that means you are being tactical. You have your hands in the day-to-day operations of things. You may be double checking the work of other people that work for you. You may be the only one that is trained to do certain things. You may be caught up in the busyness and the whirlwind of your everyday. You may be making the bank deposits. You may be making the calls. You may be doing the things that you do best, playing with Excel spreadsheets or getting involved in fixing computers or whatever it is. You're so busy getting stuff done that you don't have time to grow the business. So you want to look at, how does business come into your organization? If you have to be out and about to call people, you may not like to do that. So it may be easier to stay running the business and getting it set up. That is tactical. It's not strategic. As a business leader, as a senior executive, you want to be able to lead your business, meaning drive it forward into the future towards your goal, not push it from the back of the vehicle. You know, if you see a car stuck, you have somebody driving it to steer it, and you may see somebody getting out and pushing it from the rear bumper of the car, right? That's not your goal. You want to lead from the front and figure out what those things are. That is being strategic. Leading is strategic. Looking into the future, seeing what solutions need to be had. And also, if you are the face of your business, you need to be out and about speaking to the people that need to see your business, that need to know your business. Hopefully that begins to make sense. Another piece of the difference between running and leading, if you think about this, I want you to think about an air traffic controller. And if you're running your business, think about it this way. You're the air traffic controller. You have 12 planes circling in the air, and you need to land them all safely. Think about that model, that air traffic controller. If you've ever been on a plane and you're circling the airport, you're waiting for your turn in line as the pilot of that plane. The air traffic controller is saying, okay, I'm going to land this one plane first. And they're going to laser focus on that one plane and get that plane landed safely while they're telling everybody else, circle at this altitude, plane number 4, circle at this altitude, plane number 5, you're over here. So you're in control and you are focused on landing one plane safely at a time. That is leading the business. You are laser focused on the one thing that you can do, that you should be doing in that moment to bring everything home. They land that one safely, they go out for the next one. We're going to land this one safely. So that is really leading. If you're doing that and flying the plane at the same time, so you're paying attention to all those different things and you've got your hands in all those different areas, one could say you might be micromanaging. The other one would say that you're doing too much and you're no longer leading. You're distracted by all the balls, all the planes in the air, when you should be focused on leading. So I want you to think about where in your business you are A, most comfortable, and B, where are you focusing? And so the cure, a possible cure for how do you might be a small business owner, you might be a solo practitioner, you might be a small department, you might also be a micromanager. So I want you to think about that. How comfortable are you? How much can you trust your team? How much are you willing to let go of the day-to-day operations to focus on the future? So one solution that you could think about is, do I have the proper training documents or videos in place? We are living in a world where a generation is used to watching videos. We used to, in a prior generation, you'd hand somebody a handbook. If you had one, you create policies, procedures, and processes. Sometimes people call them standard operating procedures. I don't care what you call it. It is your training process. You can engage the team that you have hired or the team that you will hire to help you improve these. But one way to get yourself out of the running of the business and into the driver's seat of your business, leading it forward, is potentially make it easy on yourself. You can record all the steps of the things that need to get done that you want someone else to learn. So you create a video, you can open up a Zoom screen and record it. You can open up your phone, your smartphone, and record yourself. And we can talk about this further. If you need help, I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody. But you can create a trainual, which is an online training video, and that's a system that you can use. You can do this on your own without using a fancy system. Just record yourself doing the steps that you need to do. So if you're making the weekly or monthly deposits, you record that. If you're doing your accounts receivable, you record yourself doing that and mentioning every step, or your accounts payable, or closing your books at the end of the month, or whatever it is, the engagement letters, whatever it is you need somebody else to do, you record that. You can then upload it and have it transcribed into a written word using programs like Otter. I do not get paid by any company there's no affiliate links to talk about which ones to use. Those are some that I use personally. And then you can take that transcription and flip that into a Word document and create a written manual for those people that really would prefer a written manual. Then when you onboard somebody, whether it's a virtual assistant, whether your staff is remote, whether they're right there with you, next to you, you can say to them, I need you to learn this, watch this video, read this document, they're one and the same, and then start to actually do the job. And if you begin to see improvements, if we missed a step, I want you to tell me what those improvements are, and we'll re-record or revise or adjust. And then you have a library of videos. So you can create those videos for free. You can create those videos through another program that you might pay for. It all depends upon what you need. And that will help you get out of the running of the day-to-day and be able to onboard help, new employees, consultants, whoever you need to help you run your business. And then you begin to lead it. If you are pushing from the back and running all the day-to-day tactical tasks, and you're not being strategic because you don't have time or you don't like it, which is another conversation, then your business is not going to move forward. It's moving forward on hopium because you hope that all the hard work you're putting in is going to get you the results you need. You can create the foundation of your business and have it running really well, but if you don't have customers coming in to buy your product or your service, then you're not doing what you need to do or what you want to do. You're hoping that they find you, which is not really what you want. You want to be out there and being that the face of the business, being in front and driving the business forward. So the question I ask you as you begin to think about this, if you're running your business and now you have employees and you've created these training manuals, but you are still running your business and not leading it, the question I'm going to ask you is why? What is driving you to micromanage your staff or not want to step in front and lead into the future? Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's habit. Sometimes it's, I really like to do this and I get stuck here. I get caught up in doing something I love and I forget to do the other things that are needed. And by the time the day is over, I haven't gotten to those. So one could call that procrastination. Another way to look at that is, why are we distracting ourselves? And then yet another way to look at that is to ask yourself the question, what am I afraid of? Why am I focusing here? What is concerning me? Sometimes it's you don't trust your staff. And so you want to be able to think about, when I'm hiring a team, when I'm hiring help, what is it that I'm doing or not doing that allows them to give me the ability to lead my business instead of run it? And so are you giving them the responsibility? Are you giving them the authority? Are you giving them the rules of the road? Meaning, did you hire them and assume in their previous job, so they told you they're very detail oriented, so I shouldn't have to train them? And then you find mistakes. So there are some other ways that we accidentally begin to micromanage, and we have to then spend all our time double checking that person's work. We like that person, but we don't like the results they're getting us. There's too many mistakes. There are other things that you can implement as part of this in your systems. Let's assume you have a system and they're keying in financial data, and that particular field that they're keying data into has to have 10 digits. And if they accidentally key in 9, that you set the system to not allow them to move any further until they go back. So the system automatically triggers a warning, right? That's one way. So now it's an automated warning. The other way is to train them to check their own work. So if they key in and it's 10 digits, but it's 1 digit off, you can have a policy in your training manual or your training video that says, we key this in, and before we save it, we go back and we read it backwards. Because when the eye reads something backwards, it generally doesn't miss the mistake. And that comes from my days from many, many moons ago when I did SEC reporting for a major company. And we would sit there at 11 o'clock at night because we're always filing late. And we would pull out a ruler and we would start reading the document backwards on purpose. Because if we misspelled a word or something didn't make sense, or we put a number in wrong, that's how we were going to catch it. And so that's where that suggestion comes from. So there are ways that we can help ourselves along the way. If we know that we're afraid that someone's going to make a mistake, or we're afraid to address them when they do something wrong, because we're afraid to lose that person from our team, we need to have that conversation with them. We need to be open. We need to be honest. And we need to say, so how can you help me solve this problem? We're seeing these many mistakes. How can we improve and not have this many mistakes? What are things we can put in place, right? There is, so all of those things can help. And there's a way that we can look at who we hire to be on our team. And we can look at how can they help us solve the problem that they're also dealing with, because I'm sure they're not happy that mistakes happen or that things are happening in a particular way, and they're trying to do their best. So engage them in helping you step out of the role of running the organization and step into the role of leading. There is a lot more under this that we will cover in future conversations. But for today, I wanted to leave you with some of those cures for the hopium epidemic. Are you running your business or are you leading it? And how can you help yourself to begin to get into the driver's seat so you can lead your business into the future? I would love to continue this conversation and hear your thoughts on this. All right. Thank you for listening.